mic open? The Pell one.
To countries, I have the privilege of inviting on stage 3 government leaders who are here with us today. May I please invite His Excellency Dr. Nangolo Mbumba, who's the Vice President of the Republic of Namibia, His Excellency Mr. Sunday Dare, the Minister of Youth and Sports Development of Nigeria, and His Excellency Mr. Rigathi Gachagua, who's the Deputy President of Kenya. Welcome, sirs. I'm going to be sitting here. Yeah, you can. This is a panel that epitomizes the African spirit. Come pandemic, come layoffs, come power cuts. This is a panel that moves on despite the biggest challenges that we've faced in our time. We are represented here by the West, the East, and the South. Let me start closer home to Botswana. Sorry if, yeah. It's a population of 3 million. It's a smaller economy, but not significant by any means. You've got a great economy going with agriculture, fisheries, mining. And I was speaking to you earlier. You were talking about the new industries that you're looking at. Green hydrogen. Can you tell us a little bit about that, sir?
Yeah. Thank you very much. You start correctly by saying that we are neighbors. It took me 1 hour to reach here, by air, of course. And it reminded me way back in the 1960s. I arrived in Botswana as my second country, in those days of the struggle. And it was Christmas time. And we went to the shop to buy some bread. It was on the 24th of December. I can't say the year, because it revealed too many things, other things. And we were, of course, asking for bread in English. And the owners of the shop were saying, you Botswana fellows, you want to show off with your English. Speak Setswana so that we can give you bread. So I consider myself one of the locals. Of course, first thing you have to do is to start with education of your people. You have to start with agriculture because of your food. You have to organize your own structures of administration. And you have to have proper procedures in how to deal with them. But we are now approaching new fields of economy. Everybody is talking about green hydrogen. 3-4 years ago, even the pronunciation was not known. But we have the benefit of the coast, a long coast, the desert, the large area, and this period, people need energy, and plenty of it. And Europe needs it. So this week, or tomorrow, the President of Finland is coming to Namibia. Next month, the Prime Minister of the Netherlands is coming to Namibia. And I'm told also the Prime Minister of Denmark. So we are trying first of all to train our young people, especially in technology. And we are not only training those who are at the university level, we are giving out scholarships like there is no tomorrow. Sure. And even some of this government are willing to give us money to give out scholarships. at tertiary level and at technical level. And if we succeed, we will also produce enough energy for the whole region of Southern Africa.
That's fantastic, sir. Moving from green hydrogen, let's go to the Hustlers Nation. Now, what is the Hustlers Nation? I was speaking with our Deputy President of Kenya earlier today, and he said, Kenya is a hustlers nation, and I always knew it as Silicon Savannah. But please tell us, you were elected and you came to power under William Ruto's government, the keenly contested election. And now you have a mandate, obviously, and you've also been a businessman in your previous life. But I'll come to that later. But tell us more about why you call it a hustlers nation.
Thank you very much. The Hustler Nation is a serious economic movement that swept President William Ruto and I to power in Kenya against many odds. The Hustler Nation is about the ordinary people, people whose fathers are not known, their mothers are not known, they have no reference whatsoever. They're just people out there who are hardworking, who have a focus, and if given an opportunity, they can rise to be some people someday. That is the background against which the Kenyan elections were held, where the ordinary people felt that they had been marginalized because those who had been in power did not understand them. They had no nexus between the privileged and the underprivileged, and the people of Kenya felt that for them to make progress, for them to be involved in the decision-making table, they needed one of their own, an ordinary child, born in an ordinary home, brought up in an ordinary manner, to be president, to create an opportunity for other people with ordinary background someday to be men and women of substance.
You call yourself a bottom-up guy, and that also relates to the bottom-up transformation agenda that you have for Kenya right now. Yes.
Nation is anchored on the bottom-up economic model. That is a model of development to make sure that those Kenyans at the bottom of the pyramid are accorded an opportunity, they are empowered to be serious entrepreneurs, to be serious economic players in our country. And that has already begun in earnest. President William Ruto, on taking over, initiated the Hustlers Fund. This is a fund by government to the ordinary people, from $5 up to $500, where Kenyans who have no access to credit because they don't have a logbook, they don't own a car, they don't have a title deed because they don't own land. Ordinarily, banks would not give them credit. But this Hustlers Fund by government is a fund that is available to every Kenyan, however low, to be able to do some business. And since this fund was initiated 5 months ago, ordinary Kenyans are able to borrow money at very little interest, without any collateral, without any guarantees, and they have joined the big boys and the big girls on business, and they are competing on equal footing.
Wonderful, sir. Moving on to Nigeria, the West. He said that I can call him Sunday. So Sunday, the Minister of Youth and Sports Development of Nigeria. You have a new president-elect, Mr. Bola Tinubu. And Nigeria, of course, is Africa's most populous economy. It's over 200 million, and 95 million are youth. And also, it is the biggest economy with a GDP of about 440 billion US dollars. So Nigeria is where, we always talk about Nigeria when we talk about IT or financial services or fintech. But tell me, Sunday, what are your priorities now? You spoke to me earlier about setting up a youth, the AFDB is thinking about setting up a youth entrepreneurship bank. You want to start the conversation about a youth ministry. Tell us a little more. What are your priorities in the roadmap?
Thank you very much. I think the data you put out is accurate. I just want to add a little bit of it. A youth population of 90 million and climbing. 65% of that population is below 25. So when you look at that data and you look at the resources available, you know the pressure under which even the government works. But we also have a government in the last 5 years that has helped to create a special banking license that has led to the creation of fintech companies, almost 236 fintech companies, with 10 of them leading in the world. About 4 of them, they're icons already. Yes, you talk about Flutterwave, Paystack, InterSwitch, quite a number of them. And just, I think about 2 weeks ago, another one was bought up. So we believe so much in the innovative power, minds of our youth. And His Excellency, the Kenyan Deputy President, did talk about the Hustlers Fund. But 3 years ago, given the data of our youth, given the spirit of entrepreneurship, we had a 75 billion naira investment fund for our youth, single-digit 5%. You get between 250,000 to 50 million, depending on the kind of company that you have. And it's a direct investment for the first time in the ideas, ordinary ideas of our youth, their innovative minds, their enterprises, because there's a strong belief that you must turn them into wealth creators. You must employers of labor and those that can contribute to the GDP. The government jobs are no longer available. But also, just about 2 weeks ago, we started a conversation. The AFDB actually came to Nigeria to start the first bold step towards establishing Youth Entrepreneurship Bank, which, of course, most African countries will plug in eventually. A technical committee has been set up to work on the granular details of that. We believe the future of youth's decent job, just like the International Labour Organization said, the future of decent job is in placing our youth on the path of entrepreneurship. When you look at Asia, no country has been able to really empower its youth without placing them deliberately on the path of entrepreneurship.
As part of the post-pandemic recovery mode, you also tapped into the diaspora a lot, didn't you?
Absolutely.
Yes, yeah.
Of course, the data is out there. The inflow that comes in from Nigerian diaspora is in the billions of naira. And when you look at that, climbing up to 800 and almost $1 billion, and it's climbing. And we have a diaspora agency that has been able to work very effectively. And I think when you look at the FDI, the capital inflow, which after COVID, post-COVID, kind of stabilized for a while and then went down, these inflows have been able to help.
So if I can move on to the Deputy President of Kenya, you are a businessman and you also coach and mentor entrepreneurs. What is Kenya has always been known to have a great startup ecosystem, but what are the new priorities for government in that regard?
Thank you very much. Our focus as leaders is to mentor our young people into serious business players. I'm very grateful to be among these young people. In fact, our engagement with them last night, when they almost made us break our backs into dancing, and with them today, make us feel a little bit younger. I think youthfulness is very infectious. Those of us who are better advanced in years need to spend a little bit more time with the young people so that we feel a little bit younger, because it's infectious. We have a program as leaders who have been in business to mentor our young people and give them opportunities. And what we have done in Kenya, the Kenya Kwanza plan has 5 pillars. One of them is the digital superhighway and the creative economy. The young people take the command in the tech space. And the way to allow them to have an advantage among the other business people of an older generation is to encourage the tech space to take center stage in our investment, in our entrepreneurship. And what we have done in Kenya is that we have agreed as a country to to digitize all government services so that our young people can take center stage. We have also agreed that the young people through the Hustlers Fund are given an opportunity to be given credit to compete in doing business with the government. As a result, we have made a conscious decision to reserve 30% of all public procurement for the youth, women, and people with disability. That means that all young people who are very energetic, very passionate with a lot of zeal, have an advantage to compete for business. I started business at a very young age in my years at the university in the first year. And I was able to buy a car in my second year at the university through prudent business practices. I see an opportunity for our young people that if they are focused, they decide what they want to do, they become go-getters. With a government like ours that is willing to allow them latitude into the business space, they have every opportunity to make it to the very top. So this summit today is very encouraging to me, where we have young entrepreneurs from all over the world, young people with business ideas coming together to exchange views and ideas so that they enrich each other's thinking. And I must tell our young people here today and the rest of the world, this is your time. Take your space. You must lead in all spheres. You must take leadership in business. You must take leadership in entrepreneurship. You must take leadership in politics. And nobody will come to get you from your house to lead. You must get out of your house and seek for leadership in all spheres. And it is your time because you have the advantage of age, youthfulness, fresh ideas, and you are the commanders of the tech space, which is the driving force of all the economies and business across the world.
Is business easier or is politics easier?
Business is much easier. You just have to get the right ideas, the right energy, the right networking, and you are good. Politics is a different ballgame because you have to work for other people. The harder you work, the more criticism you attract. The more you succeed, the more people demand you succeed more. But again, leadership in politics is a calling. Those of us who are in politics, we are poorer people before we got into politics. Business is much easier, and in my thinking, I think in the path of leadership, it is desirable you start in business. When you are done in business and you are successful and you don't need to look for more money, then you can go and serve the people as a calling.
Great advice indeed. Thank you so much, sir. I must move to Namibia from youth to women. Very few people probably know that Rwanda has always been at the top in the World Economic Forum Global Gender Gap Index, but we also have Namibia in the top 10, and this is for the world, for gender parity in the world. They're the top 10, Namibia. So that's fantastic, sir. What are the kind of initiatives you have for women in the economy in Nigeria? You've got, in Namibia, you've got fisheries, you've got green hydrogen now, you've got tourism. Very quickly, sir, we've actually run out of time.
Yeah. Thank you very much once again. I think I should start with the youth because this is a youthful conference which cover both genders. Okay? What we are trying to do, first of all, is that exactly all this new industry we are introducing and where we are pumping money and training and technology is for the benefit of the youth. We did not join politics old. We joined also while we were students. in the first place, then we come to, in terms of representation, I have two beautiful ladies who are deputy minister in the Republic of Namibia. One is for trade and one is for ICT. Please stand up. And our candidate for the next year election, for the majority party which has been able to win election in Namibia since independence, SWAPO, is our, at the present moment, is our Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of International Relations for the past 8 years. And she's the candidate, and she is going to win. And if the two deputy ministers are not ministers after next year, something must have gone wrong.
Right.
So we are, in terms of members of parliament, in terms of cabinet, cabinet is almost 1-to-1. And in terms of parliament is almost 46%. Okay. So we went through the struggle to liberate all our people, irrespective of age, irrespective of color, irrespective of gender. And therefore, any country that is not taking care of their youth, that is not taking care of their daughters and mothers and sisters, it is going to fall behind. And therefore, I am very, very pleased to be at this meeting, feeling young, if not looking young, I'm feeling young. And to be in the country which I consider home, as I said already, and to enjoy this type of interaction. Now I have already a friend, the Deputy President of Kenya. I used to be the counterpart of his boss, but his boss has moved up. So we are networking. And from this meeting, I'm going to join my brother and neighbor, Slaga Zongwane. At his office, you see the closeness of the neighborhood. And we all must work together as neighbors within SADC and as African, in the African continent and the world. And we must maintain unity and peace within our own homes, within our own country, and within our own continent. Other people who are trying to come to tell us that they are bringing peace to us is a lie. If you don't have peace at home, you will never get it from abroad. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. So clearly, from west to east to south, it's a time for growth. It's time for Africa. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Thank you so much, audience as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome panelist Maram Jang,